Hello, my name is Massimo Volpe and I'm professor and chair of cardiology and director of the specialty school in cardiovascular disease at the University of Rome La Sapienza. I've been involved with this enjoyable project since it started, and I'm delighted to support a fantastic way to manage those lifestyle changes needed to help with your heart health. This program is also endorsed by the Italian Society of Cardiovascular Disease Prevention. Now, for the third DVD in the series, you brought some practical tips and recipe ideas by the international renowned TV chef Antonio Carluccio to address the strong recommendation made by the World Health Organization, a reduction in salt to approximately 1 teaspoon per day, 5 grams day salt, is required to reduce blood pressure and the risk of cardiovascular disease, stroke, and coronary artery disease in adults.
Hello, my name is Antonio Carluccio, and I am here to talk about my passion for food, show you a few of my recipes, and discuss the importance of diet for the protection and management of your heart health. I am charmed to join Trudy today, and I hope that you will see that looking after your heart health can be both enjoyable and easy to do.
Hello, I'm Trudy Loban, founder and CEO of the Atrial Fibrillation Association and the Arrhythmia Alliance, the Heart Rhythm charity. We are absolutely delighted to be part of the third edition of the Make Your Heart Feel Good series. And as a fantastic treat, we have the internationally renowned TV chef and personality Antonio Carluccio with us for this special edition addressing nutrition and salt intake. If you are one of the 1 billion people worldwide that are suffering from uncontrolled high blood pressure, lifestyle changes may be a great way for you to help support your heart health. This is because most coronary heart disease cases can be attributed to behavioural risk factors, such as physical inactivity, smoking, and an unhealthy diet. There is certainly something we can do about these risks. Antonio, welcome, and thank you for joining us here today for Make Your Heart Feel Good. Life today is so busy, rushing around, grabbing food on the go, etc. What can we do to take us back to basics, to have good, healthy food?
Well, for certainly don't go very quickly into a place and grab something just to fill up your stomach. This is number one. Number two, it is actually the result of our society today to eat partly not healthy food. If you remember, no you don't, but I do, after the war, people, they were much healthier because they didn't have all the excesses of salt, sugar, and all of that. We are the result of our society. But we have to contrast that. We have to check it, we have to think, and think, are you doing right or not? Not just accept what anybody tells you. Trudy, this is really that simple.
Good.
You find in every little trattoria when you come in, they put you a bowl of sort of olive oil.
And olive oil being much healthier.
Yeah, well, obviously. A bit of olive oil, and then a little bit of balsamic vinegar. That's really delightful. It goes to the bottom, obviously.
Remembering always
remember.
Always the other
Pepper, you
ingredients.
can
will
put
tell.
abundantly pepper, because pepper is very good for you. In fact, they didn't find anything wrong with it.
Good.
So we
I love pepper.
can keep eating. Then, if you feel courageous, you can put a little bit of garlic. I don't like garlic with this one because it's very tender, it's nice, but you can put it if you like. So we have then now the mixture here with sort of stir it.
So oil, balsamic vinegar, and as
And
much pepper as
Then we have sort of wonderful vegetables, very tender and nice. In Tuscany we have also artichokes and many others. So we have celery, asparagus, garden onions,
spring onions.
spring onions.
And what's interesting, it's raw asparagus, which
all of it, yes.
yeah, and that's something
It's
in
always
England
raw.
we tend to always
Why?
cook our vegetables.
Oh yes, to destruction.
Yes.
Now, here, little cauliflower floret, which they are not long, usually they cut in the length. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful fennel, fresh fennel, and a little of carrots. Now, here is up to you. With wonderful good bread, you just do this.
And what sort of bread is this?
This wholemeal bread, especially without a lot of salt. And you eat like this, and the table, and the crudité, or cazzo imperio, they call it in Rome, a very funny word, and pinzimonio in Tuscany.
And what does all that mean? Just
dipping something in it.
And what's so fantastic is it's so healthy for you.
In other ways, a salad.
I read just recently, and let me get this right, let me read it to you. The World Health Authority recently published an action plan for 2015 to 2020. It showed that of the 6 regions, the European region is the most severely affected by non-communicable diseases, such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancer, and respiratory diseases, which actually account, and this is incredible, for almost 86% of premature deaths.
And these are the dates of today.
Yes, it is.
Because if you confront them, those dates, with what was just after the war, totally different. That means that our habits today, they are totally different, and also the modernity of the so-called economy and so on has made so that many people, they produce food which is not very good for us. It used to be simple. Now it's complex and complicated, adding a lot of stuff that we don't want.
Antonio, we've talked about not automatically adding salt. So this dish is not going to have any added salt, is that correct?
No, because using all this sort of wonderful fish here, fish is already be salty from nature, and we don't need to add. In fact, we will add a little bit of lemon, and if you want, you can add a bit of paprika, a little bit of chili, whatever you like. You can increase the flavoring with that, and you don't need salt at all.
Great.
Okay, now we take this here. You see, this is what you get when you are the last one at the market, and you get sort of bits and pieces that are left over there.
So
You
tell
buy-
me, what's this?
This is scallops. You buy this, well, that won't be very, they're very tender. Wait a minute, we take this one here, and this here. Then we take another one.
And that
This is tuna. That's wonderful. This is a sort of what do you call it, with the tentacles, squid. And then the fish, that will be probably cod, and another one, salmon.
So depending
Yes,
where you are, which country, it doesn't really matter. It's the local fish from the market.
that's the point, which you can turn either into a soup, because they're all bits and pieces, or like this, in a wonderful skewer.
So if I was going to my local fishmonger,
Yes.
I can ask him for all the little pieces like this rather than having to buy the big fish?
No, it's better that you ask for the tail and all of that, which they can't sell, and you will have it cheaper. And then you do the work at home. You have to clean it a little bit, but that's okay.
So not only is it healthy, it's also inexpensive.
Yeah, no, that's the point. Now we put another one, you see here, to balance it so that they don't rock. And you do it like this. Oops. So we have it practically flat like this, so they don't roll. Let's see another one. Oh, that's a lovely.
So growing up in Italy, how close were you to the sea and all the fresh fish?
Well, I was born on the sea. And Papa was station master in the railway station, and we always received wonderful fish from local fishermen. That was really very interesting. My mother used to prepare wonderful fish dishes, especially the anchovies, sardines, which are really fantastic, cooked in different way. And this was our knowledge about fish, because locally was plenty of that.
And fish is just so healthy.
This is the healthiest that you can get, practically. So we take another one. Would you like to dirt your fingers as well? And we do another one, 3. It's enough. That's so easy. The cleaning, it's obviously a fastidious thing. If you ask very gently, you give a kiss to your fishmonger, perhaps he does it for you, depending which kind of fishmonger it is. But all the fishes, they're fine. Any type of fish, tuna, salmon, hake, octopus, anything. You see, and you vary it a little bit like this. So we have done 3. Yeah, now put the other one. Meanwhile, I take the breadcrumbs, I put it into this here. And usually here I put a little bit of salt, if it would be meat and so on. But here we don't need it. Put just a little of pepper.
As we've mentioned before,
Yes.
pepper, we
Then
can have as much as we like.
parsley. And then we mix it a little bit. And now we cover it with this. Look. Oh, first of all, a little bit of oil, sorry. So that sticks well on it. And we have, yes, you brush it with oil like this.
And again, a good extra virgin oil.
That's always. You see, all the ingredients that you can get, you take them out as well, being good. If they're bad ingredients. Lovely. And at the end, then we put some lemon on it. Wonderful. Good. It's a game, it's easy. I mean, anybody can do it.
But you know what also is good, as you said, it's for all ages.
Oh, yes.
It really was that easy.
I like it. Now in the oven?
So, under the grill?
Yes, that's a very hot grill. We put it here for about 5 minutes each side. Yes. Fantastic.
Delicious. And they smell good as well.
Yes. Fantastic. There is our spoil. Look at this. That's really fantastic. Eh? Now, a big, wonderful lemon. This gives more flavor. Oh, that's good.
So you would serve this with fresh vegetables or salad.
Yeah, a salad of French beans, for example. You just boil French beans, you put a little bit of olive oil and lemon and garlic and mint.
And mint.
It's a lovely, lovely salad.
There you have a very healthy dish. And
there you are.
extremely
This is
tasty.
the tuna here. Let me see. Very wonderful. Simple. Without salt.
That's what I love about your cooking. It's so simple, it's very quick, it's healthy,
Yeah, but why do
and
you
you know
think
there is no salt, but it still has such taste.
the lemon really works a lot?
Surprisingly, we only need 5 grams of salt per day to function, and yet the majority of us probably have far more than that. How can we address it? What can we do?
Naturally, in nature, a lot of food has already a lot of salt, so you don't need to add to that. And you have to know it. Bacon is an example. But you can enhance flavors, especially with lemon, with spices, with herbs. All the spices, even the chili, that gives a sort of a different dimension to food that you forget the salt. And that's really very extremely important. We have sort of palette of things to use for replacing salt.
What are we cooking now, Antonio?
My mother used to do this in abundance because when we were coming home in the night, my brothers and myself, we always had something in the fridge to nibble. Ooh, they were good. They are stuffed peppers simply with bread. You can do it with meat and so on, but with bread is just fantastic. You see, this is the last one of this. This is the preparation. There we are. And now we put the filling. Can I have the breadcrumbs? And the breadcrumbs, they come here. Lovely. And the tomatoes, very easy. And the parsley, the pine kernels, and the capers, and the raisins. Not all of them, just half, not too many. Here. Then we put garlic. The garlic is very finely chopped because it shouldn't be so, cracky. And a little bit of the garlic. And here there are anchovies. Usually I put a little bit of salt, but the capers and these anchovies, which we put purposely dosed in vinegar, not to have the salted one in oil because they're very salty. And so we put anchovies as well.
So just regular vinegar?
No, you buy them as an antipasto dose. And they have a bit of salt as well. Then can I have a bit of olive oil? I like the bottle. Yes. And now I show you, if you give me a little of the paprika, this is one of the way to make it a little bit more flavorsome without adding salt. And now look, now the wonderful thing is this.
So the paprika is another flavour
Yes.
as a substitute, if you like, for salt.
Oh yes. And then you take the peppers, things here, oops.
And the flavours that you've added
Yes,
as well.
yes.
Mediterranean
Oops.
diet.
The oven is open, it's done, it's preheated, 200 degrees, fantastic. So shall we go to the oven? Can you open please?
I can. And how long are you going to put these in the
That
oven?
will be about 35 minutes.
On 200
200,
degrees.
yes. Because the
And-
pepper has to cook
Yeah.
and become soft. Now we can go in the lovely garden
Glass of
and have a
wine.
coffee. Wonderful, that still sits here. good. Look at this. Very hot.
That brings back childhood memories.
Yeah. Very hot. Now, let's see what we can do. Red or yellow?
Red, please.
Red, okay. That's for you. And yellow. Do you know, I don't put green because green they're very grassy in taste. So these are much sweeter.
Recommend the
So
red.
here you are. Be
Thank
careful,
you.
that's very hot here. This is a lovely hors d'oeuvre, starter, but also main course if you like.
The flavour. Flavour is delicious. So you can let them cool, you can reheat.
Oh yes, cold. You can eat it cold and warm, whatever you like it. Not eating, I wouldn't. Anything that is cooked with olive oil, you can eat it cold. Because it doesn't congeal, you know.
And I would never guess that there isn't any salt. in
Yes.
this.
That's good. If you put the anchovy, the oil anchovy, they need more salt.
Yeah.
So especially when you produce food, you have to think about the content of things to have the balance. So it's not necessary to deny you anything that has salt, but to be aware of it, cheese and all of this, and then make a sort of an average. You know, living very healthily like this. Think. Listen, by any chance, do you have tagliolini with lemon there? Yes, that's what I wanted. Keep them there, because I don't know, maybe that I pick them up. Truly, this is such fantastic recipe. Very, very simple and very healthy, extremely healthy.